showing live there, and we have a good connection on YouTube. Rewards enabled on channel. I don't care. Okay. Do not care about rewards. Now. Oh, let me silence my phone before it goes off. Oh, quick, 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 quick. Go. Just made it. Oh, just made it. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, oh yeah, man. Wow. I had seconds to get that done. Whew. Close one. Okay, let's see here. So now let's get the social stream going. Okay, that worked right off the bat. That's potentially a promising sign. How about this one? Okay, that one worked right off the bat. And how about this one? And that one worked right off the bat. Well, now let's see, because this thing says trigger a fake test. You know, I don't need to do that. I have to click this button. There is the box. And the box is, whoa, why is it like that? Hold on. The box is there, but it's really small. Oh, because it's not the right box. That is definitely not the right, yeah. That okay, that's all right so far. This is not a huge deal. Let's see. Oh, so here we go. Let's find it in here. Where? Well, that's interesting. It's these. Oh. Here it is. Whoa. Okay. There. That's what it should be. Okay. So I had to undo my resize because it was way too big. Okay, it's still huge. All right, well, that's fine. I'm just going to shrink it down manually. That's okay. I wonder if this is because I had to create a box. Wow. This thing is huge. Why did it make this social stream box so immense? I mean, this is ridiculous. Why is this so... This is insane. Why is it this large? Okay, this is crazy. Hold on, I have to get this thing to fit. Let's see. Sorry, this thing is immense. There it goes. It made the social stream box, I mean, ridiculously huge. I don't mind it taking up some space, but that was ridiculous. Okay, now let's make sure it's working. Jeez, now that I have that in place at least. So we will say, oh, let me do it from here. That's on live chat, yes. So we'll say, oh, let's spell it right. Test 1. All right, I heard it. Do I see it? Let's see. Yes, test 1. Excellent. Hold on, let's keep going here. So I can close that, I believe. Actually, that's a good test of something. So I'm going to say test 1 again. And test 1 again does show up. Excellent. Okay. Now we'll say test 2. Test 2 shows up correctly. So now we can close this window. And now I can say test 3. And test 3 shows up correctly. So now I can close this window. So we are shockingly in good shape. So now I'm going to shrink that down. I can now post this because things appear to be working. And now I can go here and I can say enter and enter and enter, enter and enter and enter and enter and enter and enter. And now I'm done with that. So now I can close Discord. I don't need this window anymore. Okay. So then the only place I have to still post is onto Blue Sky. Maggie, leave it. Thank you. That was me talking to my dog. And not all of you. Just make sure she doesn't make her little hot spots any worse. They're not too bad, but we're trying to keep them that way. My dog is 9 years old today, which is both wonderful and a bit heartbreaking because I wish she could age in reverse. I really do. So, as much as I love the fact that it's her birthday, there's a part of me that's just understands the age, just like me, just like all of us eventually, if we're lucky. Lucky, depending on how you interpret the term, but get to older age. But Don't like how white her face has gotten. But that's just how it is with pets. That's how it goes. At least she's still a active, happy pup from what we can tell. All right, shared. Good. Let's close this. Okay, so let's move my keyboard and let's get going here. Get my keyboard out of the way, but that way I can still type if I need to, which fortunately, I really almost never need to. And let me just rotate my screen here. We're going to be doing something a little different this evening. Not massively different. I mean, it's still going to be me drawing stuff. Actually, I'm going to get a sip of water while this is running, so bear with me a second. Oh. Water. Good stuff. Okay, so what? Why? Hey, wait a minute. Why did it go back to... Oh. I hid the wrong thing. Okay, sorry about that. So this is an image I did for Leah Laporte, the host of Twit.tv, who recently, they shut... relatively recently shut down their... what do you call it? Their... East Side studio location, and they went to there, that's what I need right there for colors, and now they're all basically working remotely, and so he has set up his attic studio, and I did a physical drawing of exactly this, which I'm going to be mailing off, but it occurred to me because I kind of showed him, gave him a look at it, and they were mentioning they might want to use it on the actual show. So what I'm going to do is create a 16:9 image, a digital one, that then they can use for whatever they want on the show. And then send those files along with the actual physical drawing. And so we're going to do a little bit of expansion of this image, is the best way to say it. And so what we're going to do is, I do have to look something up. I'll do this in the background so you don't have to see this. What I need to figure out is, okay, because I can't do the math in my head for... oh, actually, I can do it in pixels. That's right. Okay, so 16:9 is 1920 by... Okay, I can do this. 1920 by 1080. Actually, what I'll use... Let me look at the dimensions here. So this is currently... All right, so here's what we have to do. I'm gonna use this ridiculously large calculator I've got, which you will hear me clacking on. I don't use it very often, but the current image is, as you can see on your screen... I'm going to close this because I won't need this anymore. Thank you. So you're seeing the dimensions right there. So it is 4,800 divided. Oh, I did that wrong. 4,800. Where is divided by? Divided by 1920 is what? 2.5. So, okay. So, oh, actually, I'm doing this the wrong way. 1920 times 4 equals 7680. Okay. 1920 by 3, 5760. So we're going to change the dimensions of this to, let's do crop and resize. So we're going to make the width 5760. Okay. And then, so let's start with that. I want to see how many layers I'm going to have here. So we'll start there. Let's take a quick look. Layer count's gone down to 58. That should still be plenty. So that is the width. Now what I have to figure out, this is going to be the tricky bit. Actually, wait a minute. I probably did it, didn't it? So if I link these, you know what? That was my error. So let me uncrop it. Now they're linked. So if I now, wait a minute. How is it saying 5760? It's not 5760. Is it? No, wait. Shouldn't be. Okay, there. Link. Now, if I make this 5760, oh, it's a mirroring. It's not, okay, it's not maintaining the dimensions. Okay, hold on. No, that's fine. 4,800. Okay, so it did not do what I thought I was going to do. So now this is the correct width, but not height. So now 1080, which is the height, 1080 times 3, would only be 3240. So that I have to expand it more. So 1080 times 4 would be 4320. That's closer. Okay, so that's closer. So what we're going to do here is let's see how much it crops down if I go to 4320. I want to see what that looks like. How bad is that going to be? 5760 is fine. That part's okay. Oh, there's not enough. Yeah, no, I knew it was going to do that. That's not what I wanted to do. All right. Okay, I have to think about this. All right, so you know what? I know what I'm going to do. 1080 times 4 equals that. All right, so 1080 times 5 is 5400. Okay, so 5400. So settings. So this has got to be 5400. This. So now what I need to do is 1920 times 5 is 9600. Wow. Okay. And we'll see what that leaves us with. All right, I'm done with my calculator. Putting that away. All right, so that is, in fact, 16 by 9, which leaves us with 27 layers. That should still be fine. So what we need to do now is move. That doesn't matter. I'm going to move this down. Did I actually? Yeah, I did. So we do this. And we do a group. Seal that group. And we're going to move that group. What is that? Oh, that's the... I know what that is. So we're going to move that to here. That's dead center. Or is that going by that line? Let me do a reset on the drawing guide. Bang, bang. That's dead center. Thank you very much. Okay. So this is now at 19 by 20. Of course, it is much larger than that, but that's okay. And what I'm going to do is I have plenty of layers, so that's okay. I think instead of doing that, I'm going to sample this color here. And we're going to recolor this red area because I did this very, very sloppily. Very sloppily. Because I was just kind of getting an idea for what I was going to do in physical. So we'll get that there. But what we're going to... Actually, you know, before... Let's do something where you see some actual drawing. Let's do that first. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Joe. How's everything going? Life been life. Got laid from my job. So unfortunately, I'm job search karma. Attempting to sell things before I can... Okay, Aaron. Don't be in a rush. And don't... I will hold on to the card. You got laid off. It's fine. I will hold the card for you. Don't worry about it. Worry about getting your stuff that you need to live. And your job and everything else. The card can wait. I have the image. I have the card. It's not going anywhere. Focus on the stuff that really matters. I appreciate that, but if you just got laid off, man, get your stuff where you need it. And when you can, you just email me. I am not planning on going anywhere, short of a meteor or a satellite or something hitting me. And the car's not going anywhere either. I have enough. I'm not in some kind of situation where your card's going to get sold off. The card is, I've already started it, so it's your card. It's set aside. It's right there. So don't worry about it. It is not the most important thing in the world, and I am not in a rush. So whenever, I'm just saying, focus on the important stuff. It's perfectly fine. I'm doing fine. I hope you get another job soon. So believe me, it's fine. It really is. Okay, so yeah, no, this is good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, but really, I'm serious. It's fine. It's fine. Like, it's okay. It's not going anywhere. You do not have to worry about the car getting sold off, and I am not in some kind of big rush. When you can, whenever that is, it's fine. I am never going to make somebody try to rush and do something, especially with, but no matter what, it's perfectly okay, and the card is set aside. So that card is your card whenever. Don't worry about it. That's perfectly fine. You got to worry about other things that are more important than that card at the moment. So do not worry about it. It's okay. And you would have to do quite a bit to be the longest I've waited for a payment. The longest I've waited for a payment was 1 year and 2 months, which I was fine with, because the person told me, I'm not going to be able to pay you for probably at least 6 months. I said, it's fine. No big deal. And it wasn't. And it ended up being a year and change. That was fine. Card didn't go anywhere. And then when they were able to pay me, they paid me. And then the card got done. So it's fine. Like I said, it's fine. I don't, because I'm so used to, because I've gone this long in my life not making money from artwork, I'm never in that big of a rush to make money from artwork because I'm used to not making money from artwork. So it is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it even a little bit. Let me check that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we want to turn on the assist because I'm going to do kind of a border. Actually, oh, that's a good idea. Let me do this really quick. Let me do a... you're amazing. It's been stressful at school and all that as well as really unexpected. Glad you're here doing well. Just here. Good. That's great. Relax. Relax. That's what I'm saying is don't add one more stressor to your life. It's fine. Don't sweat it. Believe me, nobody should ever get... There's enough stress in life as it is. You don't need to add one more to your life. It's just not necessary. And if there's one thing I try to aim for, it is not adding stress to anybody's life. So do not worry about it. All right, so that's going to be... I want that a little tighter. I'm going to make that a little bit more... Oh, where's the mid? There's the middle ground. Oh, come on. Go back. Go back. You were just there, man. Come on. Work with me. No! Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Hey! No! Why did it move? Why does it keep moving? I'm lifting my finger straight off this thing. There we go. Okay, perfect. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. All right, there we go. So that's going to be basically my border. And then down here is where I'm going to start doing more of this kind of like this bubbly, swirly. What did I do in the actual image? Hold on, I gotta look at it. Oh, I did. I outlined everything in black. Okay, I can do that in Photoshop. I don't have to do that here. I can do that separately. All right, so let's just start making some kind of shapes or whatever you want to call it. All right, so something like that. And the nice part is this is all going to be bordered in black. So I don't have to worry too much about everything lining perfectly up, at least not now. So it's going to be really, this should be really simple. All right, so I'm going to do a little thing there. We'll do a little thing over here. All right. Do a thing here. And see, this is, I'm just basically, you know, replicating these types of shapes that are there. Just making like a bigger border of that type of thing. Because I kind of like the weirdness of those shapes. I'm sort of... Oh, this is going to be a little tricky. Because I do want to kind of follow the arch of this. Which is not going to be the simplest thing. But... Oh, wait. You know what? No, it'll be alright. It'll be alright. I can just do this. It doesn't have to be exactly right. But I kind of want to echo one of the shapes that's in there. So I'll do that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, and I'm really just making whatever shapes I feel like. I'm not really worrying about much of anything. I'm just going to... And then these are all get colored in using the colors of the network, which are those colors right there. That's their colors. So we'll be using those. Sorry, I just bumped the mic pretty good with my hand. And so, yeah, I'm just going to kind of... Because I don't really do any artwork like this, which I would describe as sort of, I guess, like psychedelic 70s type of lava lamp artwork. I never do stuff like this, so why not? Because it's just something different. So I'm just kind of, you know, just making shapes and not really worrying about it. Because I think once it's all... and then what I'll do in Photoshop is I will probably... Well, I can clean that up. I'll probably put like a black border around stuff. Oh, wait, why is the... Hold on, the comments aren't showing up. I thought the thing was working. Oh, wait, or did it... Do me a favor, Aaron, type something really quick. Because I think it probably just faded away. I want to make sure it's working. I thought I saw your comments. I just want to make sure they're actually showing up. So, I'm pretty sure it worked. But just in case, just type anything. I don't really care what. It was there, right? Okay, thanks. You know what? I forgot there's a timeout. That's why. I wonder if we're going to turn that time out off. Probably will at some point. All right, thank you. I thought it was working. I just wanted to make sure because It's rare when everything works, which this stream, pretty much everything except for me having to reselect a window, everything else seemed to work, which hasn't happened too much lately, so I was kind of getting paranoid that maybe something didn't work again. So luckily, that doesn't seem to have been the case. Things seem to be working for now. So that's good. Assuming it holds. Which is always the trick. That is always the trick, is will it hold or will it start flipping out again? It's really tough to predict that. If you'll give me a second here, as much as I dread doing this, I have to check on the score of the New York Yankees game, which I'm sure they're losing worse now. Let's just see, how bad is it? Oh, amazing. They're still only losing 3-0. Oy. Oh, it's not a great year to be a Yankees fan, but I can't help it. I've been a Yankees fan all my life, and no matter how bad the team is doing, I'm never going to not be a Yankees fan, but I am not a blind Yankees fan. I have no problem critiquing the team when they are playing like they're playing now, which is to say, not great. If you're a baseball fan, you may already be aware of the fact that Dodgers are currently leading the World Series against the Yankees 2-0. And the Yankees are back in New York City at home and are currently losing in the 4th inning 3-0. Now, a little bit of baseball. Sorry if you hate this, but just to give you a little bit of insight. 3-0, depending on the team, isn't necessarily that big a deal. If you have a team that scores runs and does well at it, 3-0 isn't really that insurmountable. In fact, that really wouldn't be a score that you would worry about. The Yankees, however, have not been scoring lately. And so 3-0, well, let's just review that's a terrible shape. Let's just review their previous games. They lost the first game, I believe, 6-3, so that's by 3 runs. They lost the second game 4-2, which would be 2 runs. Key thing there, first game they scored 3 runs. Second game they scored 2 runs. So if they're losing by 3, based on their previous scoring, a best case scenario on the past performance is a tie. So, like I said, all my life I've been a Yankees fan. I will always be a Yankees fan. But I don't just look at the team and think they can just do anything. We'll see. But I'm not exactly... let's put it this way. I don't bet on things. I'm not a gambler anyway. But if I was, I'd be glad I didn't put any money on the Yankees this year. Because it ain't looking good. Is all I'm saying. No one will be more happy than me to be wrong if they suddenly manage an extraordinary comeback. They've done it before. It can be done. Do I think this team can do that? I think they have not shown yet that they have that in them. But we'll see. You know, things can turn around quick. Baseball is a weird game because things can turn around really quickly. So could it be done? It absolutely can be done. Teams have done it before. Do I think that this team has so far shown the ability to do it? Not yet. But, like I said, I will be exceptionally happy to be wrong about that. And maybe I will be. Maybe an hour from now I'll be like, wow, I really didn't anticipate this, but look what they did. Sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes teams, when they get put into a bad situation, that kind of motivates them and drives them forward. It does happen. But I don't feel like that's how it's been so far. It has felt more like they've just been, frankly, outmatched. I mean, even the ALCS, which is basically the precursor to the World Series, for those who don't know. It's the playoffs that come before the real playoffs, where the best 2 teams of each league, because there's National League and American League, you basically whittle it on down, then you get down to the 2 teams that will determine, the 4 teams that, based on whoever wins, then become the final 2 teams that are in the World Series. And the Yankees had to play the Cleveland Guardians. And they won. They absolutely won. But it never looked like they were in command, if that's the way to put it. They never seemed as dominant as a team with this many high leverage players and with the payroll they've got, because one of the classic criticisms of the Yankees, again, for those who aren't familiar, one of the reasons the Yankees are among the most hated teams in baseball, or at least used to be, was because they spend a lot of money on big-name players, much like the Dodgers and many other teams. So that's one of the reasons it always kind of irritated me. People would say, oh, the Yankees just buy all their victories. Well, guess what? All the teams want to buy their victories. Let's not pretend that there are many teams that really rely on farm systems anymore. I mean, some do out of necessity, but this idea that the Yankees are the only team in baseball who is trying to buy a World Series, come on, let's dispense with that nonsense. You know what I'm going to do? I should have done this on the top, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to switch the drawing guide to 2D, and I want to establish just a quick baseline. Right. Let's draw one. I really should have done this earlier. Really should have done. You know what I'll do? I know how to compensate for this. Let's adjust that drawing guide to maybe around. Let's do 185 maybe. 185. Not enough. Let's try 184. Nope. 3. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. 8, 9, 91, 92. Oh, 92, 3, 4. Oh, 6. I heard a beep. Oh, no, I didn't. I guess it was just me. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's what I want right there. Thought I heard a beep. So let's do a blue line just to establish the outside straight edge here. Just so... Wait, is that not even? Oh, it's not even. Unbelievable. Hold on, sorry. I just assumed... That's what I get for assuming. 98? 198. Okay, it wasn't a centered grid. The whole point of making the line was to be able to replicate it on the other side. Well, that wasn't going to happen with a non-centered grid. And it also doesn't happen if you don't follow the actual line. There we go. Jeez. Jeez. Maybe you shouldn't watch too many of these streams, Aaron. You might decide to save your money and spend it on an artist who knows what they're doing. And I wouldn't blame you. All right, let's see here. Okay, so now. I tell you. All right. Okay, so we'll come up like this. It doesn't have to exactly, well, all right, you know what? Again, moron. What I have to do is put this above the blue line so I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. All right, there we go. There we are. Yeah, that way at least I would like the edges to be somewhat straight. You know, just it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I want to have it so it doesn't look too weird. I'm gonna do some wackier shapes out in this empty space because I feel like I'm just kind of following everything a little too much. So I want to just do some bigger, kind of weirder shapes. I'll clean them up on the actual closed part like that. Yep, just to have some variation here. So let's do something like that. Again, just to kind of looks like a bottle opener of some kind, but that's okay. Point was that, okay, well, I got to leave some space though because I have to have filler shapes that come in here. Okay. I don't know where that little dot came from, but I'm gonna have to clean that up. Where did you come from? It's okay. I'll clean it right here. Luckily it's not too far in, so that's pretty easy to get rid of so you can't see it. There we go. All right, eraser off. Okay, so let's. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to here. Let's switch the grid back on because I should have done this earlier, but that's okay. Let's shoot this across the bottom. And of course I screwed that up. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, just so I have something to go by. Okay, switch back to symmetry. Go back to this. Go back to this. There we go. I don't mind that those on the bottom broke it. That's okay. It's not terrible. It's perfectly fine, really. I could have just... Actually, those are the only ones that are really breaking that barrier. So you know what I'm going to do? Well, you know what? I got to do it on the top, too. Sorry, got to switch the grid on again. Because now I'm realizing that the top's too claustrophobic, too. So I'm going to do this. See, what I really need to do is try to make it even. So that's a little bit... So it's about, let's see, like there. And of course, I didn't do that far enough in. Nope, that's too far in. It's a little bit. That's probably... Oh, excellent. Ah! Sorry, I'm trying. There we go. There we go. That's fine. That'll do it. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Rig Boy, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, and I did it on the wrong layer. Good timing. You get to see me fix a screw up. There we go. All right. So no one is here, though. Yeah, that's just you and Skippy at the moment. Fine with me. I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me. People either show up or they don't. I just do what I do. Well, I'm glad that you're doing all right. Happy to hear that. Okay, let me switch this back. Yeah, like I said, I don't really count on many people showing up. That's okay. I've had people say that it's either too early or too late too, which, you know. The time zone thing is the tough thing to really manage because you're never going to quite get it right for everybody. All right, so that's okay. Yeah, I don't like that being that far in, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean this. We're going to redo this one. And then we'll redo the other one. Let's see here. That one is... I don't like that one either. That's too much. Let's back the paintbrush down. Let's do this real easy like that. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of round out everything around the central image with similar shapes to what's inside there. So, and then I just kind of realized that I wanted to have more of a border to it. So I'm fixing these shapes by putting a little bit of a grid around it. So, yeah, happy Halloween. Same to you. Yeah, I never like when Halloween is on a weekday. I always preferred Halloween to be on a weekend. I always felt like that's better for everybody, but it's just how it falls. I kind of wish they would, you know, that instead of making it October 31st, it's kind of like how Thanksgiving is always the third Thursday. With Halloween, it should have been more like, okay, it's the last Friday of the month or last Saturday, whatever, so that, you know, you don't do it in the middle of the week. I've just never liked the idea of the weekday Halloween. Just doesn't feel like it fits for the holiday to me. That's just me. But I would not mind it if they changed it to be, you know, the last Saturday of the month. I think more people would be able to do it. They'd be able to stay out longer. It'd be more fun. Because, yeah, like, you know, I mean, Thursday's not terrible. It's towards the end of the week. So it's not the worst day. It's not Monday. You know what I mean? I think Mondays and Tuesdays are the worst days for Halloween. Those are just terrible. But Thursday's okay. It's not the worst. But it would not be what I would pick. I would probably do... Would I do Friday or Saturday? That's an interesting question, really. Would I do Friday or Saturday? Actually, I'll put that question out. Would you rather have it be Friday or Saturday? I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth now that I'm thinking about it. I really don't know which one I would want it to be. There's a good argument for either one, to be honest. You know what? I would probably make it Saturday. Because that way, if you really wanted to stay out late, you know, because Friday is a school day and a work day. So starting up late on a Friday, you might get tired faster. So Saturday would probably be better. That's my guess. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you could skip school. I'm not going to pretend I never did it. But I think if now that I'm thinking about it, I would, if it was up to me, if I was making the decisions on calendars, which I'm certainly not, I would do Saturday. Yeah. Well, that's right. And that's kind of what I'm saying, is that's why I think if it was up to me, I would do it on Saturday, because then you don't have to worry about getting up the next day, and you're not tired from whatever you had to do on Friday. So you kind of have the perfect, Oh, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not saying skip school. I'm just saying that you could do it if it was on a Friday, but that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Saturday. Yeah. Oh, my parents wouldn't have been thrilled. My parents were not thrilled. Actually, did they ever find out the days I skipped school? I don't think they did, because I didn't do it too often. I don't want to pretend like I was skipping school all the time. I was a bad enough student without skipping school. I was a terrible student. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. That's different then. Gonna make it a little different. But like I said, I was such a bad student anyway that skipping a little bit of school here and there wouldn't make any difference for me, because I was a terrible student. Just don't have the head for it. I was never good at tests. I couldn't pretend I was interested in things that I wasn't interested in. So like social studies and math. Oh boy. Not my subjects. Just not. No way I could even pretend they were. I was awful. Which I feel bad, because, teachers have it hard enough, and it's to see a student who clearly doesn't care, No, I do not play Roblox. I missed Roblox. That came after. Maybe I don't play much of anything anymore, to be honest. Not for any particular reason. It's just one of those things where, honestly, I'm just too old. I cannot get this shaped the way I want it to be. So no, I don't, but I know it's extremely popular. I see it all over the place. So I know a lot of people like it. But it passed me by, to be honest about it. Yeah, I'm not that young. But you know what? I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. It's not like you can't play stuff when you get older. And I do, just not as much as I used to. Honestly, part of it is I've had bad eyesight my whole life, which has made video games. I mean, I can see, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the neat stuff about video games, my eyes can't even see it, because I just have terrible eyes, and have forever. Which most of the people in my family, their eyesight is not that bad, so I don't know where that happened, where I got it from. But then again, at the same time, most of the people in my family aren't really all that artistic either, and I got that, so I guess that was the trade-off. Have the art thing and lose your eyesight. I mean, I don't know that I'll ever be legally blind or anything like that, but I certainly, basically, if you hold out your arm, or if I hold out my arm, I can see clearly to my elbow. And after that, it starts to blur right away, and it blurs quick. So, yeah. Not the best when it comes to the eyes. And they've kind of gotten, the weird part about my eyes is occasionally at least one of them gets a little better and then gets worse. I don't know why. I don't know of anything I'm doing differently, but occasionally when I go to the eye doctor, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this your right eye, which is my stronger eye. Oh, it's gotten better. So we can lower the prescription." I'm sitting here going, "How?" Sure. Is this the same name you got on Roblox, the one you got here? Because, yeah, I'd have no problem with that, because I will not use them. Okay, let's see here. But, yeah, that's the odd thing, is when my eyesight just gets better. It hasn't happened a lot, but it actually happened last year. So my prescription for my right eye is better this year than it was last year. Or sorry, 2 years ago. It's every other year, which, I haven't As far as I know, I haven't changed anything major in my diet or done anything that I know of that can improve eyesight. I'm not aware of anything. If I'm doing it, I'm not doing it on purpose. So I can't really pretend that I can say, oh yeah, well, whatever that thing I was trying to do worked. Knuckles ready. Is that Knuckles a reference to Sonic, or is that just a coincidence? Sonic was... I remember playing Sonic. I was never any good at it, but I remember playing it. I always liked the speed of it, but... oh, it was terrible. I would lose rings left and right. But I always thought I thought the game had really good music. I always liked kind of the speed of it. I liked the idea of it. It was a neat game. See, I was young when Nintendo and Sega were both making video game consoles and were really competing with each other, and that was kind of those were the big competitors at the time. Not anymore. Sega really doesn't do much with video games anymore. I think they publish games, but they don't really make them anymore. Where is that circle? I think it just... Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's turn that off. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work. So now what I got to do is... Where are we at? 41 minutes. Okay. This will probably be about an hour, so I'll do another about 20 minutes or so. So now let's get the colors to solidify in here. So let's grab this color. And we're on the right thing here. Yeah, that's what I kind of guessed that was probably what it was. But I could have been wrong. It's amazing. I think about when I was younger and, you know, there were lots of video games, but you didn't, I mean, video games when I was younger, nothing like they are now. It's kind of amazing. You didn't have online multiplayer. You didn't have, I mean, you didn't even have a lot of two-player games depending on what you were talking about. Is this, which thing is this? Oh, no, I don't want to use that. I want to use the ink. Actually, I guess I can use the paintbrush. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me do, no, I guess that's fine. Yeah, there we go. Just going to clean these edges up, which luckily aren't too bad for the most part, except when you get to here. Do this. And actually, you know what? I'm going to have to recolor all this anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and do this the fast way. But yeah, I remember the whole Mario versus Sonic thing back when they were really competing. What happened to me when I was in school? Well, I mean, in some ways, school is always school. It's the same for everybody. Certain things change. We didn't have cell phones. I mean, cell phones were around, but nobody I knew. I mean, when I was in high school, it just was not, it wasn't common for everybody to have cell phones. I don't think I got my first cell phone. I'm trying to remember now because this was a while ago. But I didn't get my first cell phone till it was probably senior year. Because like I said, they weren't common like they are now. Not to mention, cell phones, oh God, this just makes me sound so old, but whatever, it's what it is. You know, now, most people aren't using their cell phones to make phone calls. Most people are using cell phones for texting and data and, you know, and apps and playing games and that type of stuff. When I got my first cell phone, you didn't have unlimited minutes. Oh, a scary story? Oh, like a drill. You know what? A scary story. I don't remember any really particularly scary stories because, again, you know, here's another thing. When I was in school, we weren't doing shooter drills and all that stuff. The stuff that you have to worry about now, we didn't have any of that. It just wasn't something that happened. You know, it really wasn't. You weren't doing drills for really anything outside of fire drills, which are just, you know, that's standard stuff. Everybody does fire drills. But we weren't doing a lot of the stuff. I shouldn't say some of the stuff. A lot of the stuff that they do now because you have to. Which, you know, it's sad. But that's the world we're in. But it is the world we're in. But we didn't do that stuff. So honestly, the scariest thing that happened in my high school, And there was, I mean, before high school, there really wasn't anything worth talking about. It really wasn't. Which isn't to say it was boring or anything like that. It just wasn't like it is now. Is that in a good area, bad area? I just don't know. But the scariest thing that ever happened for us, honestly, was there was a kid who was, he was on the hood of a car, and the person driving the car was messing around and driving like an idiot, and stopped really suddenly because I think somebody walked in front of the car. I don't remember the exact reason. And then the other kid fell off and hit his head and went into a coma, and then died, I want to say 3 weeks later, because they were horsing around. You know, and not wearing a helmet or anything like that, obviously. You come down and hit your head. You know, it's if you're lucky, it's just a concussion or something lightweight. I mean, but obviously in this case, it wasn't. That was honestly the scariest thing that ever happened. Because, you know, they just, you know, nobody thinks about that stuff. You just think, oh, you know, I'm on the hood of a car and, you know, screwing around. But that's all it took. Just coming off the car once. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that and look, I was an idiot too. I did stupid stuff that if it had gone wrong, could I have been hurt or killed? Absolutely. It's common. It's not, you know, when you're young, you're not thinking about stuff like that. You know, you're just worried. You live more. God, this is a very common term, but whatever, it's true. You're way more in the moment when you're younger than you ever are when you lose as you get older. When you get older, you start thinking about things that are further off. But when you're young, all you're thinking about is having a good time, and, you know, and everything is great, and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, and it's a blast. I'm not saying that like that's bad. It was a blast. And then later, there's stuff that when you get older, you look back and go, whoa, that was probably a really dumb thing to do. Like driving. When I started driving, I drove like a moron. I could have killed people. I got in multiple accidents. I was an idiot. I'm not even going to pretend I wasn't, because I was young and I wasn't thinking about it. And, you know, that's every young person is like that. That's why I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing at all. You know, stupid kids. Like some older people will do that. You know, they're like, oh, kids are stupid. Look, we were all stupid in that sense, because you're just not thinking about that stuff. It just doesn't occur to you. Not because you're dumb or stupid or anything. I mean, everybody does stupid things, but you just aren't seeing it that way. And that's just how life is. So that's, you know. And I remember my parents telling me certain things and saying, you know, this is a dumb thing to do. And I'm like, what do you know? You're not me. You're not living my life. Well, they did know, because they were kids too. That's another thing. You don't think about your parents being young. We're all used to our parents being the age that we remember them being or older. You don't think about the fact that, yes, they were your age too. And they likely did stupid things too, just different stupid things, because, you know, times change and all that stuff. But that's what it is. Well, I didn't drive as early as I could because I just didn't see a point, to be honest. Because gonna do homework. Glad I can stop by. Have a good rest of your night and week. I'll catch you next stream. All right, Aaron. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, listen. I hope things turn around. I hope things go better. I'm sorry that you got laid off. That sucks. So, hopefully, at least the homework goes smoothly. And then, like I said, don't stress about the card. It's fine. So, have a good night. And thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. So driving, yeah. I mean, in New York State, which is where I grew up, I think I could have gotten they had a name for it. Not like junior license, but some kind of a different version of a license. You would get a certain type of license, and then you would get your full driver's license. And I wasn't in a rush. I just wasn't. A lot of my friends drove and had cars and had no problem driving me around. And honestly, I just didn't see the thrill in it. I was not in a hurry. So I don't think I really started driving till I was 17, which was a good year after I could. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm not trying to scare you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to frighten you or anything like that. I'm just saying it's one of those things that someday when you're older, you'll look back and there's going to be things that you did that you'll be amazed that you did them. That's all. But I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. So it's, and your things may not be as stupid as mine, because I was a bonehead. I was just not I didn't always make the wisest decisions. That's all. But at the same time, a lot of kids don't, and they're fine. So that's what I mean about don't worry about it too much. This is just me saying that, it's one of those things that you look back on, and everybody does that. That's kind of the neat thing, is that even though lots of things change over time, and the world is was a lot different for me when I was young than it was for my parents when they were, at the same time, there's things that are always going to be the same. And that's one of them, is the idea that when you're young, you kind of think you're invincible because you just can't think of the future the way that you do when you're older. That's just how it is. And if there was something wrong with it, it would have changed by now, but it's the same thing all the time. That's how life is. You learn stuff and your perspective changes. And depending on who you meet in life and where you end up, it changes in different... Oh, did I turn on the... hold on, sorry. What I want to do is put on the mirroring for that in a second. Let me do this dot really quick, because this is also red. Oops, I missed something there. So that's what I mean, is it's just one of those things. That's all. But I wouldn't even call it a bad thing. It's one of the great things, is that even though we all live on the same planet, so many people have so many different experiences, and it's great. Because if everything was the same, it would be awfully boring. If everybody liked the same music and the same movies and all the same stuff, oh boy, that would just be dull. It really would. Because there'd be nothing to kind of surprise you and make you think, wow, look at that. That's something completely different than what I'm used to. That's great. That's how it should be. Like sometimes again, the bus is someone. Oh, you know what? That's another thing. When I was in school, I'll tell you, I was not one of the popular kids. I wasn't, because I was overweight and I was nerdy and I was into comics. And when I was younger, being into comics was not something that everybody was. Comics when I was younger were only things that goofy nerds were into. Now comic books and comic movies and all stuff, that's completely mainstream. Everybody's into that stuff. So it's a lot better now than it used to be, because there's lots of people I remember who I went to school with that would never in a million years admit that they were into comics. Would never admit it, because they thought, nope, too nerdy, won't do it, won't admit it. And yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I was like, yeah, I wasn't screaming it. Or, oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Sorry, wrong layer. I wasn't yelling it or anything. I wasn't making a big deal about it. I mean, I wasn't, because I knew it was a nerdy thing. Now it's a lot easier because a lot more people are into that stuff. So it's not like it used to be. That's a great thing. Because when I was a kid, really the only superhero movies were basically the original older Superman movies, not the new ones, the older ones. And the nothing really else until the original Blade movie. That movie really started to change things. Then, of course, the X-Men movie came out. I'm talking about the old X-Men from 2000, the original X-Men movie, because they're going to be remaking that. I saw that. And then people really started to kind of change their opinion on that stuff. But up until that point, you didn't go around saying you were into comics. I mean, not the way you can now. Because there weren't a lot of comic book movies. You didn't have Deadpool, Wolverine. Let's put it that way. All right, that's fine. Hey, you got school? Go ahead. No problem. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out for a bit. And I put all this stuff, yeah, all these streams go onto the YouTube channel eventually. So you can watch the past ones and see all different stuff. Perfectly fine. If you got a split, go for it. Thank you for coming by and hanging out for a bit. I appreciate it, but I don't expect people to stick around for the whole stream. That's perfectly okay. Because like I said, I know it's, for some people, it's pretty late. I mean, it's not exactly early here. It's, yeah. No, I'm gonna be probably stopping the stream in about 5 minutes anyway. So you're not gonna miss much. You won't miss much at all. So again, thanks for coming by at all. I appreciate people stopping in, even if they only say hi for a minute and then jump out. I'm not worried about having people stick around for the entire stream, because I'm not really a Twitch. I'm not really a stream. I was gonna say Twitch streamer, but I'm on YouTube as well. I'm not trying to. I don't want to say that I don't want to have people that are stopping by and stopping in. I'd love to. I've been part of streams where you see all different people and they're all having conversations with each other, and that's great. And that would be nice at some point to have, because I like the idea that people can come and kind of hang out together as well as watching me draw stuff. That's a neat idea. But I'm not trying to, get 100,000 followers or anything like that, or at least I don't think it's ever going to happen. I won't mind if it does, but I'll be shocked if it happens. So that is not my ultimate goal. So when people say, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go. No, don't say you're sorry. Go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Like I said, I'm always surprised that anybody shows up anyway. So I gotta turn the, I gotta turn the mirroring on for that. So I don't have any problem with that. When you have to go, you go. So like I said, you're only gonna miss maybe the last 3, 4, 5 minutes of the stream anyway, so you're not gonna miss all that much. Not really. Yeah, so we're gonna do these colors. I may do some kind of texturing on these, or I may leave them flat, because honestly, I'm a flat color type of person. I like the flat colors. I enjoy them. So I don't mind if they're not all textured and... Oh, wait. Did I have the mirroring on? I sure do. No, I don't want the mirroring on for this, because this is not a symmetrical section. So, okay. Which probably means I have to re-erase that. Yes, I have to re-erase that, but I'll do it first. That way it's done. There we are. Now we can jump in here, and this will probably be the last thing I do for the stream, is this section right here. Oh, you know what? Let's take a quick look and see if the Yankees are somehow winning. I seriously doubt it. Let's find out, shall we? Let's see. I could be wrong. Oh no, I'm sorry. The score has changed. They're now losing 4-0. Yeah. I'm not going to make this into a baseball stream now at the end, but I don't think things are going to end well for my Yankees with this series. It just, which I will say it will be extra painful for my wife, who is a San Francisco Giants fan. And of course they are, if you don't know this, basically their arch enemies are the Dodgers. So it's going to be even worse that the Yankees lose to the Dodgers, because she's a Yankees fan because of me. Because she loves me. And that's why I'm a Giants fan, because I love her. And so to have the Dodgers get the World Series and have the Yankees do so little to stop it, yeah, not great. Unless they do some kind of miraculous turnaround. It can happen, it has happened, but it doesn't happen often. So I'm not banking on it, but we'll see. We'll see. That's okay. You know what? I was sitting there earlier and I thought, well, do I want to keep watching this, or do I want to do my stream? And I thought, well, I know that there's because they were already losing 3-0, I thought, watching this game isn't making me very happy at the moment. Doing a stream will be fun, and it's something that other people can enjoy. So that's a better decision. And it was a better decision. So I chose wisely this evening. Yeah. But like I said, that's how it goes. Baseball is one of those sports where things just, you don't know. I mean, you really don't. They could have a humongous turnaround right at the end, right in the ninth. Could happen. These things do happen. That's what makes baseball really interesting, is it's such a long season. There's so many games that you really see teams go up and down. Almost everybody wins and loses. Almost every player has streaks that they're doing really well and then really badly. And that's how it is. That's what makes it an interesting sport. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop here. So we're right at an hour, and that's what I was aiming for. So, yep, this is going along, and I'm going to fill this out. But so far, so good. That's kind of what I was looking for, is exactly what's here. Just something a little different from what I normally do. But, yeah. All right, so let's kick this thing right there. There we are. And I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect the iPad. And then I will, as I always do, thank everybody for coming by and hanging out for however long. Like I said, I don't expect, or, if people can't hang around for a while, it's perfectly fine. I'm really just appreciative that anybody comes by at all. I don't think I do a particularly exciting or, thrilling stream. So I'm happy when anybody stops in at all. So thank you for being here, people who stopped by earlier. And if you're watching this later, hey, thanks for watching this later. Because to me, it's all the same. I know there's people do different metrics. I don't do any of that. If you're watching this at all, ever, anywhere, thank you. It's fine. I'm appreciative either way. What I will say is two things. One, when you're done watching this, go either do something creative yourself or go find somebody else who's doing something creative, and keep kind of staying in the creative lane. Creativity is great. It's great if you do it yourself. It's great if you experience it. Go find an artist, a musician, somebody. There's streams of people who are doing like pottery and these large scale like space paintings. I've watched a couple of those. They're just amazing what people can do. Airbrushing stuff. All this really wonderful artistic talent out there. And I guarantee you those people will be happy if you stop by and leave them a nice comment. Say something nice about what they're doing. Just say you enjoy it. It means a lot to them. And if they have a way, if you really like them and you start following and you really like what they're doing, try to support them in some way. Whatever way that is. And that could just be following them and leaving them a nice comment here and there. Because a lot of creators, it's a struggle. I'm not talking about me. I'm okay. But a lot of people are trying to be creative for a living, and it's really tough. It's very, very tough, and it doesn't get any easier. So those people, if you like them and you're following them, subscribe to their channel, leave them a like or whatever it is on different platforms. Just leave them a nice comment, send them an email saying, hey, I really like what you do. If they have a Patreon or something like that, sure, support them that way if you can. But if you can't, like I said, just saying something nice is a big deal for those people. So go find somebody that you really enjoy, follow them, support them. It's really important. It's going to be beneficial for you too, because it is a two-way street. When an artist creates something and somebody enjoys it, the artist gets something out of that, and so does the person who gets to enjoy it, because it's something that no other person could create that you can enjoy. That is an amazing thing. It's so amazing, and we forget about it because there's so much art out there. It's so easy to overlook it, but that's not a small thing. It's a fantastic thing. Anyway, I'm not just going to ramble on for 5 minutes. So yeah, go find somebody, follow them, support them in whatever way you can. And on that note, thank you for being here. Live or later doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate you hanging out. And that's it. So now I'm going to end the stream. Again, thanks for being here. And until next time, take care.